Okay, so we're back with some painting, live stream painting of Super Fancy Brawl. It's the last miniature of my core set plus Force of Nature, and we've got Kalel for today. Okay, so again, really looking forward to this one. I've really enjoyed painting the Super Fancy Brawl miniatures. The size, the design, the sculpts, really been a lot of fun to paint. And we've seen a lot of people really enjoying it as well across the community. I've had a break from SFB painting while I've been when I received my Black Rose Wars Wave 2. I've been painting a couple of those up, and now I'm raring to get back and completing the Super Fancy Brawl. It's just such a great game, and to play with those painted miniatures really just heightens the experience. Obviously, with the first official Super Fancy Brawl online tournament starting tomorrow on this weekend, it's it's looking good for the game. If we can keep the interest alive, I think that can only be a really good thing for Super Fancy Brawl. So, Kalel riding her little dinosaur dragon, absolutely awesome. Look at that sculpt. Kind of Aztec style, Amazonian hunter. So good, standing on a mount. The mount obviously got some ties into the forest, into the natural thing, into natural nature and the rainforest, and then some Aztec gold on the mount as well, which is really cool. We're going to be going in with the card art as per normal. So we're really looking at that purple, which is one of the new paints I got from the Citadel Contrast range, which is Magos Purple. A nice bright purple rather than the dark purple that I had from the Shyish purple. And then just some other splashes of some greens. I've got a different flesh tone, a darker flesh tone, which I'm going to try on her, which is the Fire Slayer flesh. See how that comes out. And then we got obviously bits of orange on there as well as white and the gold. So yeah, it should be a fun miniature to paint. Eyes are nice and big on the miniature for the size of certainly for the size of the character. So that should be able to get some good detail on there, and then on the skull and everything else as well. So, with that all in mind, let's move, create some space a little bit. So, we're going to move on, as per always, with the lightest shade, which is going to be the Apothecary White. So, we're going to start with our Apothecary White, making sure to give your Citadel Contrast colours a good old shake before you use them. Of course, get the pigment moving around. Using my Winsor & Newton Series 7 size 0 brush as per always. And we're going in with the dreadlocks hairs over here to start with. Now, it doesn't matter if I get over the little bangle parts, the metal parts, because I'll be going over with lead belcher anyway, so that's not going to make any difference. I am noticing from the Discord chat that there's quite a few people that have started to get close to finishing their whole Super Fancy Brawl miniature sets, so that's really cool, and they do look so cool. I mean, at the end of this video, I'll show you them. I've got them all just standing next to each other on the play mat, so I'll be sure to show a little glimpse of that as well. It's so much fun just seeing them all together. So, as always, just not being too afraid of using a fair amount of this paint, because it does dry lighter. Are they hair going? Yes, it is hair going down the sides as well. So this is hair as well. Because I'm starting with the lightest colour, it means that it's not really gonna affect any of the others. Okay, we've also got some... What are they? Oh, they're flying darts, so let's give them a little white down on her waist there. There are shooting darts, and they're the flights from those. I think that really just covers everything. Yep. Just looking at the arch, making sure there's no other white. I don't think there is. So that's the first colour on. Hey, Carl. And and then we can move on. So I kind of want to get I want to see this purple in action. I'm desperate to see what this purple looks like. So we're going with Magos purple. Well, let's see what this one looks like. Oh, the brand new paint. I reckon it's going to be close to pretty much perfect of the kind of colour. I hope for. It might be a bit light. I'm still going to go with it. I'm not going to mix. I'm happy with however it turns out. I think it'll be fine. Just getting all the dino skin done here. Some nice detail as always with these miniatures for the contrast paints to settle into. Yes, it's a kind of oh, hang on, I've got to be careful here. I'm going over I don't want to get the underbelly of the mount here. That's going to be, I'm going to use snakebite leather for that, I think, to give it a nice pale underbelly. I was really gutted not to attempt to try and get in the tournament that's going on. I can't do the timings, unfortunately. I can't commit to those. But I would have loved to play in that tournament. Yeah, that's a cool colour. Slightly more pinker than purple than the art, but like I say, I'm happy with that. Oh, just going over the bit I shouldn't be going over. Awesome, Carl. I'll be rooting for you, don't worry, mate. Now, don't give away any of your tactics, but have you decided on the 5 characters already that you want to play with? You don't have to tell me who they are. You don't want to give your trade secrets away. You have to win the whole tournament now, Carl. That's it. Okay, let's get to this neck area. Try and get in there. Yes, do Marius. Please do Marius. I mean, yeah. He's not bad. He is not a bad character at all. We've said that, but it depends on the skill level of your opponent. And I think we've talked quite at length about, especially with Chris, about Marius and why he's considered one of the low tier characters in the game. But again, I think, it depends on the other characters. It's the combo characters that's the most important thing, of course. And he can certainly be complemented with some of the other characters. I played with quite a cool team. Who did I play with last time? Taze. It's quite a hefty one. Kalel. Taze, Kalel, and Shuzhou, which is a strange combination, but they were good. That was a fun team. I enjoyed that one. But I played against someone who was playing Marius, and I basically just left him alone. And needless to say, he didn't do tons. He did some damage. He definitely did some damage because he's got a fair amount of damage output on him. And he's such a cool miniature. Yeah. The tactic is to run into traps. Well, is a tactic anyway, not necessarily the tactic. But yeah, you're like, it doesn't matter if I go into traps. It means that he becomes bloodied. The only problem with that, of course, is you kind of need to get him bloodied on the first action of your turn, because you don't want to leave him vulnerable to be just destroyed by your opponent. So it's very situational, but yeah, I've definitely had it where I was like, yep, I'm going through that trap. Come on, 3 damage. Face next. Hey, it's Chris. I knew talk about Marius would bring Chris in. Yeah, I you know what? I've grown to like Marius more after playing him more. I still think he's potentially not as strong for starting play. What can I say? Not against more experienced players. I don't know, but yeah, I do like Marius. I've quite grown to like him quite a lot actually in my teams. If I can complement him with the right kind of characters, he's good fun to play. I think it's because he's got quite a different type of tactics rather than just go in and hit. I kind of like those characters. They've got a different tactic about them. And finally this figure. Yep, 100% finally this figure. I've been looking forward to painting this one. I loved it. I love the fact it's got mount. I know Lorelai's got a kind of mount in this forest worm or whatever you want to call it. But this mount is so cool. I do like this. This purple's coming out all right. It is more of a pink than a purple, but I do like it. I like the colour. Deb has 3 or 4 of them. Is it with the under? Hang on, am I doing this right? Let me just check a minute. Yeah. Ah, sweet. Okay, he's got darker purple kind of detail, which I'm gonna have to think how to do. Probably use the Shyish purple and just put it on the top of it. Yeah, that is just detail. Cool. Okay. I think I might do the detail going in a bit more. Always think about there's a slight difference on the inside of the mouth there. There we go. Okay, so that's the pinky purple of the dino. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. What do you mean Deb has 3 or 4 of them? Here's a higher, skill level. Deb has 3, I don't know what it means. Right, okay. I think we'll move on to try this. Let's go to Skeleton Horde, I think, and do a little bit of the hat there. So Skeleton Horde. Next colour. Oh, sorry. SFB has 3 or 4. Yes. Well, to be completely honest, the skill cap comes from knowing the combos of characters, and your opponents and your enemies' characters as well. So once you know that, that's where all the skills going to come. Knowing what cards to plan when. Oh, whoops! I've just gone over the wrong bit. Yeah, that's a nice skin tone. That is darker. Exactly what I wanted. Oh, what am I doing? What? Oh dear. Pay attention. That is not the skin tone. This was supposed to be on the skeleton. I was like, that's quite a nice brown colour for a skin tone. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Take all that paint off and try again. Right, so let's do the skull on the hat, which is the whole point of what I was trying to do. Never mind. Oh, actually, and... Right, hang on. The only problem is I've just went into the eye sockets and they need to be bright orange, so I'm going to just go in again take that paint off. Yeah, that's better. Bone. Any other bone? Nope, I think that's it. I will do the underside of the dino in that same as well. Yeah, 100%. And then it's obviously it's knowing what those synergies are and then banning the character that links to that synergy. Let's go back to Fire Slayer Flesh this time for the skin. Another brand new paint. That's better. Again, I keep going over that hair. Keep forgetting that's hair. That's okay. And then she's got a tiny bit of her hands showing. What detail. Even the hands are just so great. Cool, very cool. Right, she's got bare feet as well in these straps. She's got bare now. That's cool. Okay, that's her skin done. And we'll move on. Checking something a minute. She's got this like brown armour all over her, I think. Unless that's skin. No, I think it's armour all the way. Okay. Let's move on to the green, I guess. Oh, hello. Sir Reasoner. Oh, cool. You watched the Black Rose Wars painting stuff. I haven't done much of it. I really haven't done much of it. I'm glad. Exactly what it's meant to be for. So the Super Fancy Brawl stuff, again, was just to get some ideas of how you could relatively quickly paint these miniatures. And then when these what do you call them, Black Rose Wars miniatures came in, I was like, oh, I've got to be doing them as well. And showing a little bit of video of how we can do those. So yeah, there's quite a lot of miniatures to paint in that though. But looking forward to it. Whoa, hang on, there's tons here. I like Fire Slayer over Blood Angel in many instances. I haven't got Flesh Tearers, so I'm not sure about that one. Darko Flesh, nope. Dark is, oh! There's another, you kidding me? There's another flesh tone. Wow. Awesome, Chris. That's so. I'm so pleased. I can't tell you how pleased I am to hear that. People are recreating what I've just shown, and hopefully getting some good results. So I really love that. I love that's worked. That's great. Wow, four different tones. I think that might be the next purchase. Then I love the flesh tones with the contrast paints. Yeah, I might have to get that as the next purchase, perhaps. Okay. Anyway, let's. What am I doing? I completely forgot. Lost my train of thought there. I think I might move to just correcting a few bits actually next. So the Wraithbone base. Yeah, cool. Oh, I mean, it's definitely just to give ideas. You want to make the painting your own, so just changing bits up to make it your own is definitely the way forward. And using maybe some ideas from these as guides. So, Chris, have you managed to do all your tokens yet? And Kyle? There we go. Okay, that's the touch-ups done. Saving them for last. Oh, God. They're not too bad. It's just a bit, compared to painting the miniatures, it's, yeah. It's more of a chore, I would say. But I still quite enjoyed doing it. I think I'm going with the orange next. Yeah, let's go with the orange. So, Griff Hound orange for the next one. Yep, not gloss varnish. I use... Well, it is basically gloss varnish, hard coat. That's what I use for all gems and anything. I mean, in the past I've used them for eyes, mouths, in the eyes and mouths, to give that kind of moist effect, that glistening effect. So that works well. I think this, let's start with this tongue. Just chuck on this orange. Oh, there's a big fat mould line there. Never mind. Nice bright orange tongue. Haven't touched the trophies, but got the rest. Nice. How much? You've almost finished with the whole of the Night 11 Dead. How many miniatures was that? Because I think that's very good going, if I remember rightly. These are the kind of orange feathers, which are pretty cool. Especially to give that little bit of different colour. To keep it vibrant. Which what I love about the design of these miniatures and the art in this game is how vibrant everything is. In my experience, to be honest, the more like this Series 7 brush was 10 quid or £11 or something. I got it from eBay, and I clean it in water all the time, and I use it all the time, and it's really kept its point. It's been a fantastic brush. Now I've got cheaper brushes which you can get basically 10 of for one of these brushes, but you tend to get a little kink on the end, I always find, with a bit of a cheaper brush, which just makes it, the whole painting process just less fun. So I'd rather just spend. I'm definitely going to just keep doing this now. I'm just going to keep buying these whenever this one runs out. But because it's a sable brush, and it's a fine sable brush, it should last a very, very long time. I mean, I've painted with acrylics just like on canvas, for quite a while, and I've got some sable brushes for those, and they've literally lasted for 20 years. So if you keep your brushes clean and stop any paint from drying in them, that's the biggest danger of your brushes, then they can last a really long time, a really, really long time. So yeah, this brush has been fantastic. Since I've had it, I've not had it for a year yet, but I might have had it for about a year now. I forget now. But yeah, I've used it a lot, and it's been fantastic. So I suppose, like pretty much everything, right? The more you spend on it, usually the better the quality. But yeah, if you go for a fine sable brush, it doesn't matter what the make is, I guess. It should last you a long time, and you'll really love using it. Nice car. Okay, I think. Just get a little look round. Hang on a minute, there's some in the middle there. There we go. So there's the orange. Feathers done, and there's an orange part on the end of the blowpipe as well. And Cerizno, I'm planning on doing live streams for Black Rose Wars as well. Because if I'm being completely honest, like doing those videos that I did for Black Rose Wars, they took ages for post-production, uploading, and then I use iMovie, which perhaps isn't the quickest thing in the world. iMovie, is it called? Yeah, iMovie, to kind of create the videos, and it takes so much more time and effort. Whereas live stream, it records it, so it's kind of done. This is your last one, right, for the game? Yep, Carl, this is the last miniature. I feel a bit sad, to be honest. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed painting all of the Super Fantasy Brawl miniatures. I've absolutely loved it. I think they're such fun miniatures to paint. Hang on. But, as I say, this is different to the art. I think I'm just going to go in here with the orange. Yeah. Okay. So that's Fire Griffhound Orange. And let's move on to the next colour, which I think will go straight onto the greens. Which, if you look at the card art, it's quite bright green, but quite dull green. So it's a bit of a mix. So I think we're going to go and grab our palette and do a bit of a mix. So I'm going to use Warp Lightning Green and Militarum Green as my two greens to blend to, as well as some contrast medium just to make it a little less vibrant and to help it mix. Yeah, exactly. There will be more. There is definitely more to come, which is going to be awesome. And that'd be nice. It'd be nice just to paint like the odd one every month or every 2 months, however frequently they come out. So I'm really looking forward to that. And there's going to be some fantastic characters coming out with some very different mechanics as well. So lots to be excited for Super Fantasy Brawl. Live stream Black Rose Wars with friends or the solo mode. At the moment, while we're in lockdowns and everything else, that will be solo mode. But I actually meant the painting. I meant like I'm doing now, but for Black Rose Wars. So the hope is to do some live stream painting, because I love chatting to you guys in the community. It just makes it more enjoyable painting as well. So Chris, do you enter the tournament for Super Fantasy Brawl for tomorrow? As another Marius champion? And now we're just getting these greens on. Be a little bit careful of the pooling effect of contrast paints, as per normal. This is not easy to get to, is it? Now, don't do what I did and not varnish your miniatures, by the way. I'm definitely going to be varnishing my miniatures. I just need to touch up a few of them. Because I've been playing the Super Fantasy Brawl with the miniatures a fair amount. A few little nicks have come off the paint, especially on any sharp corners, edges, things like that. So yeah, I would certainly recommend, because the amount of times you're picking them up and using them, is to really make sure you get some varnish on those miniatures as well. And actually, if I've got a bit of time at the end of this live stream, I'll show you the varnish I'll use, and I will use it on a miniature. Right, we actually need some more contrast because the paint's kind of drying. Cool, that's cool. And again, this has got some. What I can actually do here is, where these things have dried, try and get that kind of bit of patterns on there, a little bit like leaf patterns, I guess. So I can use this mix while I've got it to do some detailing. And take advantage of the fact that how it changes from working to giving that contrast effect to not, which is sometimes something that you want to do. Okay. Right, let's keep going. So is this green? I think so. Yeah, green on all the added parts. By the way, I used green stuff on that joint there because there was little bit of a hole there. So just make sure you prime over that with the base paint, which is what I did. Or better still, do all your green stuff in before you prime your miniatures, obviously, and then therefore you just prime over the top. Now, how am I going to hold this without taking the paint off everything? Okay, so we've got the grass effect. Oh, I really like the contrast between those two. That's really cool. The other arm. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then the head needs to do the same as well. So let's get a tiny bit more contrast medium into there. So it doesn't dry out. So this is a mix of Warp Lightning green and Militarum green. Using the contrast medium to dull down the colours. Let's go to the back. Can I do it without having to mix more green? Don't think so, actually. I think we might be all right. Yeah, we just about made it, I think. I might just make more paint on the back ones. Looking nice and bright and vibrant. That's what I like to see. So we've got the brown armour to go, obviously the metal work. Let's go Skeleton Horde down the underside of the mount. So Skeleton Horde. Oh, lid. Oh, contrast paint lids, Citadel lids. Hate them. But I just can't bother to do all the change them into dropper bottles and everything. So I think that's just laziness on my part, to be honest. Try not to. Oh, that was a bit. Okay, just trying to get into. There we go. Keep going. Oh, I've missed the whole hands. Whoops. That'll have to be done. I've missed the mount's hands. Sometimes it's not until you've painted more of the miniature that you realise, I've missed a massive chunk of that painted miniature. Because there's so much white on there to start with, obviously. I was trying to pick out the details. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's a cool colour. That works fine. Cool, Chris. Right. I think I might go and do that hand now while I've seen it. So back with Magos Purple. Let's keep cracking on. God, just trying to get to the hands. Okay, it's better. Okay, so that's the hands done now, at least. And what we're looking like, 49 minutes in. Okay, let's move on to next. Oh, hold on. I thought these were spikes, but I don't think they are. Oh, I've missed it. Oh, I'm going to need some more green. I've missed a whole leaf there. That's fine. So let's. I think we might do the browns next. So wildwood for the browns. Yeah. Now this is her armour and straps for the mount. Yep. Armour and straps for the mount. Now she has got some metal work on the armour, which we will go over anyway. It's quite a fiddly model to hold, actually. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. And again, you're better off letting one colour dry before you move on to the next. But I'm just being impatient and want to do the video in one, so that's why I'm not doing it. What's that? That's hair. We want to go with that. Then we can go in. I perhaps should be going to a smaller brush just to do the detail around other bits that I've already painted. Just go around there. Try and get the best angle to get at. It's pretty good. Our underarms, we'll see. I just keep moving around with this wildwood for all the straps and everything. Actually, that's a bit darker, that one. That's fine. And same for this as well. I'll put some contrast into it, some different shades and stuff in a bit. So she's coming along, she's coming along. Okay, so just getting those straps done. Try not to get over the bits that I've painted already, of course, so that'll be a bit of a shame. So just trying to be careful. into the inner side of the straps there. Trying anyway. See, I've gone over. Have I? Wait, no. Cool. Then we got a strap just here. I think these are metal parts, aren't they? But no mind. There we go. That's fine. These all metal, I presume. Yeah, metal. What about that? Yeah, this has got a bit of metal work on it, but it's mostly the browns. So again, let's get the dart pouch and the darts themselves, apart from the flights. What about around the face? Nope. It's all good. It's kind of like a chameleon velociraptor. It's quite cool. Right, I think that's pretty much everything apart from we've got a fair amount of metal work to do next. And obviously the nails of the mount as well. So maybe going with some probably snakebite. No, not snakebite. Skeleton horde again. Right, coming up to an hour. So if don't want to jinx it, but when the live stream cuts out, it's usually around about the hour mark. We soon shall see. Oh, brilliant. It's a really fun miniature. Okay, let's do this. Oh dear. Without smashing my miniature around. So we're going to go on to the... just going to go straight onto the metalwork now. So grabbing lead belcher, as always. Well, you know what? We're going to try something different. Because the gold is so bright, it's like Aztec gold, I bought a base Retributor armor. So hopefully this works the same as the lead belcher, except for it's going to be really, really gold. And then if we go over, perhaps with the Iandan yellow, that might give a really, really nice, bright gold. We shall see. Let's give it a go. If I can open the pot. Oh, it's spilling everywhere. I mean, look at this gold. Wowzers. That is a gold and a half. So, water that down a bit, as always, with any paints. And this will hopefully be really, really bright. I've just realised I've not painted the saddle at all. So we're going to have to go into that after we've done the gold work. And I think it will just be because I do love the gold effect with lead belcher, but it's a very realistic, duller gold. Whereas I want it to be a really bright, vivid gold for this particular one. Which it certainly looks like this base is. Awesome. Then we've got gold at the back. That is a proper gold, that is. Love it. yeah, I'm happy with this. This is a nice gold. I heard people talking about Retributor armor, and then I watched the video and I was like, that is a fantastic gold. Because I've only got like layering gold, and it's just not strong enough. I mean, it's nice after a few coats and stuff, but this is a kind of like the lead belcher. It's a one coat go over. Which is real nice. Very cool. Let's keep going. There's a fair amount of gold on this miniature. And just make sure your paint is moist enough to flow. If it dries up, it'll be really hard to paint with it. There we go. And I'll say it yet again, as I've said on every single video, I love the contrast paints for the fact you can see immediate results. It just spurs you on, I feel. Rather than that feeling, right, I've done the base colours. Okay, it looks good, as in the colours are right, but it doesn't look like a finished miniature. I've got to get all those washes on, and I've got to start doing the highlighting, and then I start seeing the amazing effects. Contrast paints, it just happens straight away. Are we still live? If someone doesn't mind just saying so on the chat. Hopefully so. Seems to say that the feed's still going. Oh, excellent. Thanks, Chris. Good, good. This is gonna. I think the gold's gonna really come out well. I'm just looking at it straight away, and it's I love how vibrant it is. What we got else? Let's do those. We're gonna need some more paint. So if Sir Reasoner is there still, it's important to regularly wash your paint. Certainly if you're doing one colour for a long time, what will tend to happen in your brush bristles is the paint will start to dry from the inside towards the base of the bristles, and that's what causes you. That's the biggest problem with your brushes. That's what's going to ruin the life of your brush. When you get that kind of split hairs, when it looks a bit like this, that's because it's got dry paint in it, and you'll find that really hard to get rid of. So just regularly making sure you just get rid of that paint off the brush. Just normal water. Don't shove it in the... don't shove it in. Literally, because it's quite hard to do with zoomed in. I just give it a little twirl at one side, and then again twirl it on the brush. And you'll see if there's any paint on there, because the paint will come out on the brush. Anyway, what am I doing? Yeah, or is Nazreg yellow? Is that a you just said a contrast over it? Yeah. Oh no, 100%. You do not have to use Citadel paints at all. Hell no, no, certainly not. I mean, you could use, as long as it's acrylic based, water based paint, you can use any make of paint. You know, I think the price of the paint determines how much pigment's in there and how much water's in there, how much has been watered down. Because I've got these like ATP, a huge pot. These are ATP for a massive pot, but they're quite watered down already. But they still work absolutely fine. It's acrylic paint at the end of the day. I think it's just the quality of the pigments inside them which determine the cost. But Vallejo, I've heard so many good things about Vallejo. Loads of people seem to use it. So yeah, brilliant. You just need a gold acrylic paint, it looks like, and then the yellow contrast over the top. I'm loving this gold. It's proper nice. Which is going to be really good for Black Rose Wars as well, because there's a fair amount of gold in that game. Is that? Yeah. And when Khalees, I want to say, when Khalees comes out for Super Fancy Brawl next year, she's going to have a lot of this gold, and you want that really bright, vibrant gold on her as well. Oh, Chris might know. What's the name of this dinosaur mount? Do you know what the actual name is? Oh, hang on. I used right. Looks. Wanted to tell you. I used a contrast called. I think I've got the blue. Isn't that the one I bought? Maybe not. No, maybe not. No, I didn't. I didn't buy that. Sorry. Or Nevermore for his lanterns and gas stuff. Almost like an effect paint and created some night like blue-green effects. Wow. That does sound very cool. Very, very cool. It's called Chickens. Yeah, if it hasn't got an official name, Chickens is quite cool. Or Plucky. I'll use a smaller brush for that detailing. I think I might go to my smaller brush now to do the other bits of gold, just so I don't go over any of the painted parts. As Aethermatic blue is more like an effects paint than a normal contrast. Interesting. Very interesting. And I think you've made that up, haven't you? Uno momento. Anyway, let's go to our smaller brush. So we're going to my Klinsky. I think I would say it's about a 000. It doesn't actually say what size it is, but it is pretty small. But you just got more control then. I'm not even going to attempt to do the inner part of that. You're just never going to see it. And I don't want to get gold over his hands and arms. Okay, right hair and up the top. This is going to look so cool against the white of the hair. There's quite a few of these gold braids, isn't there? Oh dear, whoops. Slight mistake there, so water on again. All that down and then grab it off. Cool. Quite fiddly part, this. Okay, let's keep going. Camiraptor.